Well, welcome to the North Pine Creative Podcast, where we come together to discuss digital marketing and current trends in digital marketing. Today, our topic is social media marketing. We've got Luke, we got Weston here from North Pine Creative to discuss some questions and some how-to regarding these things, as well as to discuss some current trends. So I am the CMO at North Pine Creative. Luke, Weston, if you guys could quick introduce yourselves.
Yeah, my name's Luke. I'm the CEO here at North Pine Creative.
My name's Weston. I am the COO at North Pine Creative.
So Luke, what do you think is the in platform to do social media marketing on right now? Is it Twitter? Is it Instagram? Is it TikTok?
I kind of think I don't think there's one specific one, and this goes down to knowing your target audience and knowing what platforms you should be on. Because I think a lot of times we look at social media marketing and we're like, oh, I got to be on this platform and this platform and this platform and this platform, and I have to be on all the platforms. But in honesty, it's where is our customers and where are our clients? You know, and I understand that the basic ones to have are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and LinkedIn, right? But I think TikTok's really up and coming. If you want to connect with Gen Z, go to TikTok. It's there, and it's staying around now. Yay, as when we're recording this podcast, like TikTok is officially staying around, and there's still details to be figured out with it, but it's not going anywhere. And I think LinkedIn is another sleeper one. It's not just something that you should just look at and go, oh, I don't want to use LinkedIn because that's not the end thing. Well, but if you're trying to reach businesses, if you're trying to connect with professionals, why don't you go to LinkedIn? Why don't you start marketing yourself on LinkedIn? You know, and I don't think there's necessarily one or the other that's better. I think it's more of a question of how it fits into your marketing strategy and how you want to use social media. Because if you want to just pump out, like, I don't know, podcasts, for example, or you want to create fun videos, use Facebook and use, YouTube.
Yeah.
Because those are two great places, and post one video. You don't have to take the YouTube link and then post it to your Facebook page. Upload the full video to YouTube. So I don't think there's. Weston, you look like you got something to say.
I was just saying you just touched on a point that I think is very important. It's easy to say, oh, I need this social media platform, I need that social media platform, and suddenly it starts looking like a lot of work, but what some people don't realize is you should just be recycling a lot of your content. Like, a lot of your content that is going to Facebook should be either posted in whole or cut maybe a little bit shorter and put on Facebook, and then maybe cut a little shorter if you want to and put on Instagram, either whether that's a live story or just a post. Because as long as you are putting in the time to make sure that your content is interesting, which should be your number one goal with social media marketing. If you're posting, it shouldn't just be product photo, product price. It should be what's the benefit of the product? What is entertaining about it? Can you make something entertaining, a commercial or a post that gets someone interested in your product? I kind of lost my train there, but I think it's very important to not necessarily be recycling content from a long time ago, but recent content should go on every social media platform that is that it applies to. Like, maybe not always LinkedIn and YouTube, but almost always Facebook and YouTube, almost always Instagram and YouTube,
Yeah, well, with that thought, Weston, the next question we're going to roll through is, what platform should I use to market my business? So you just mentioned quite a few, and you just mentioned YouTube. So you want to unpack a little bit about how the decision-making that goes in. If I only got time to do one or two of the 5 or 6 above listed platforms, how should I decide which one to use for my business?
Well, I think, first off, I can't just answer that question for you. I can give you some criteria, though, that would kind of help you with that. I think Facebook and Twitter are almost always a good option, just because no matter what your primary source of digital marketing is, a lot of that content can be reused, and there's Facebook groups that would be interested, and there's Twitter groups that would be interested in content. That being said, if you're like a business to business type of a company, maybe you want to focus more on LinkedIn than some of the other, like maybe Twitter's not as important to you. Maybe TikTok's not important because your target market is whatever age professionals in engineering or something. Well, TikTok is not necessarily where you're going to find the audience for that. And the little bit of audience that you do find is not likely to click for, professional engineering consulting on TikTok, right? So yep. I mean, obviously it depends on the business. I think it's safe to say that if you are a business to consumer business, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, if you have a physical location, you're going to want to make sure you've got good like Yelp reviews, even if you don't necessarily have like a super active like page, but just like be focusing on that, because that is also very important, and I believe included when it comes to social media is people's reviews of your business really on any website. But I would say what platform should you use? Look at what are your major competitors? What are the ones that are doing good? What are they doing? What's successful for them? Just a tiny bit of research in that department can go, I think, a very long way in ensuring that you're on the correct platforms and you're posting at the correct times and all of that.
Luke, do you have any thoughts on this question?
Yeah, I agree with you with what Weston said. It's really based on where your target market is and what your business is trying to accomplish. Because you're right, if you are like a law firm, does it really make sense for you to be on TikTok? Yeah, it might be fun, it might be cool, and you could get some leads from that, but probably not the place you want to be. So I always like to talk when I'm talking to clients and when I'm talking to people, go back to, okay, let's start with the main ones, right? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, right? Now let's talk about what your goals are and what you want to accomplish. Let's talk about who your target audience is and what platforms they're on and if this would fit into a strategy, and then move from there. Because to be honest, Twitter is one of those things where it's like you should be posting, and you can be posting multiple times a day, right? You can be posting 6, 7, 8, 9 times and it's quick thoughts. But like, do you really need to do that all the time for your business? Maybe not. So it's really determined on kind of what your strategy you want to craft and what you have time for. And if you only have time for, a few of them, I'd say just do the major ones. So just make sure you have a Facebook, make sure you have an Instagram, and put yourself on LinkedIn. If you are not a cert product oriented, but you're more of a service oriented and you're more doing a lot of B2B things. If you're not,
and
throw
you're not
yourself
just saying
on
put your personal
Twitter
profile on LinkedIn. You're saying create a company LinkedIn page, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you should have your personal one, right? But if you're a business and you're trying to say you work, we help people ship things, or we put things on products for major companies, right? Like we produce that stuff. You're going to want to be on LinkedIn as a LinkedIn page, and you can have, your own personal one. Like if you're a freelancer, do you really need to make a LinkedIn business page? No, not really. You don't. But if you are a company and an entity, it'd be good to have your own on LinkedIn. So, yeah, I would just stick with the major ones if you really don't know what you're supposed to do. But if you don't have time to do every single one of them, that's okay. Just pick one of them and go for it,
Along with picking one and going for it, and kind of recycling content, using a scheduler that could post to multiple different accounts. That would be insanely beneficial, because then you could have an Instagram, a Facebook, and a Twitter, and all you have to do is write one post, and then if you want to edit it, you could just edit the Twitter one and then put this one post at this time, this one post at this time, and this one post at this time. You've got one post that went across all of them, so it's not it can be very easy, as long as you're making the step to do one social media platform and doing it right. It can be fairly easy to at least have a presence on several others.
So with that, we have to draw this podcast to a close. We want to thank our listeners. We want to ask that you check us out at northpinecreative.com. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast. We'd love to share more of our content with you. And as always, you can fill out our form on our website for a free consultation with any one of us to help you strategize how you can improve your digital marketing with your company. Have a great day.